So now that I have project 4 uh, started and deployed to Netlify, I'm now at the part of the instructions that talk about add a larger size to your images. And what it's asking to do is to repeat the exercise from project 3, but instead of making images at 320 pixels wide, the instructions want for there to be 3 photos, the same photos, at 640 pixels wide, so that we end up with a total of 6. Two sets, each with 3 at first at 320 and then at 640 pixels wide. So as I say, it's just a repeat. Before I go and repeat this using Squish, I want to actually go into Google Chrome, into Settings, go to Advanced, find Downloads, and where it says Ask to save each file before downloading, I'm going to turn that on. And I'll show you why that's important. Otherwise, everything goes into downloads, and for me, I think it's a lot more efficient if I can choose where files get downloaded. So I'm going to make that change. Okay, so I've got to find my stored originals, and here they are. First, we have the 320, but we also have the original size. And since I should always, when I'm resizing, take larger and resize down to smaller dimensions, I'm going to go ahead and take these that are listed at being at 1920 pixels wide. So since Squish is asking me to drag and drop, I'll do exactly that. There we go, drag. I'm going to resize the width to be 640. And again, the aspect ratio is very important to maintain so that the height automatically changes for whatever width I decide to put in it. And I can bump this up, this quality measure, to 100. I'm not too worried about exactly what that number is as long as it's on the higher side of this slider. Okay, so now I can hit the download button here, and because I've made that change in the settings of Google Chrome, it's now asking me where I want it. I can pull this open, desktop, pull it open there, photos, and I named the previous one animal-world-320W. So this one is going to be Animal World 640W. The .jpeg will just get added to the end of this. So there it is. Use this back arrow with Squish. There's the 640. Bring in my next original big file. Again, resize it down to 640 for my width. Bump it up to 100. Hit the download. Change this to 640W. And if you notice there, it was going to put some spaces in and some parentheses, and those are all things we do not want in any of our file names. So this also allows me to write exactly the file name that I want. Go ahead and save that. Come back one more time and do the right file. Tiger at 1920. Resize. Width down to 640. Bump this back up to 100. And save it as Tiger-640W. Go to this. Actually, what I love to do is click on Date Modified, and all of those, see? All of those come up to the top. I see that I have a file name problem, so I can go ahead and fix that. These kinds of typos happen quite a bit with all of us, so it's always nice to be double checking your file names as you go. Okay, so I've done the 640s, and we can actually use this preview window. This one is 640, this one is 640, and this one is also 640. So if we go to the instructions, we have a lot of instructions here, but as I said before, it's just a repeat of project 3. So after we have those 3 resized images, we need to get them into the images folder. So I'll do that using Finder and hold the Shift key, select all 3 of those. Right click, find, copy, go back however you want to do it into P4, open images folder, and right click and paste. And again, we can be checking if we want 320, 640, 320, 640, and down here 320 and 640. So I can go ahead and close that Finder window. When I click on VS Code, it has discovered there's 3 new files. They're all green. Since I spent some effort doing that, why don't I go ahead and do a commit and push so I get those files up onto the repo. We're not going to see any difference in the web page yet because we haven't changed index.html, but let's do that anyway. We'll do the commit and push. So add 640W images, check mark that, and push. And I think I will stop the video at this point because the next part of the instructions require me going into index.html, and I'd like to start that fresh in a brand new video because it takes a little bit of careful editing of index.html. So I'll go ahead and do that in the next video.